Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen with the Tough Eggs. In today's video, I'm going to show you some helpful tips on starting from scratch in Alpha 3.15 and the process I use to decide my next steps in the verse. Today's video will be of benefit to those within the verse still rocking their base starter, or those players with only a few vessels in their inventory. So let's dive straight into the video. Tip 1. Choose the best starting location. This is vastly important, especially as starting locations in 3.15 will essentially become your home. This is where your starting inventory and all ships/ground vehicles will initially be stored, so it makes sense to have them in a nice spot to save time and money moving them around. Now, there are plenty of beautiful and exciting starting locations, from the cold, arid environment of New Babbage to the run-down, dystopian cityscapes of Hurston. Personally, I'll be selecting Lorville as my starting location. The surrounding areas are full of both combat, exploration and delivery missions, meaning earning some starting UEC will be a lot easier. Tip 2. Upgrade your starter ships. I honestly can't emphasize this enough. Ships in Star Citizen require modifying. Always aim to upgrade your ship's components and weapons to suit your personal needs, so they can operate at peak performance. Spend a little bit of AUEC to upgrade your base starter. You'll be spending a lot of time with it, so a little expenditure in the beginning will result in a more enjoyable and faster AUEC grind. I would always recommend upgrading your shields and power plant first, followed by weapons and QT drive, and lastly your coolers. Tip number 3. Know your profession. From the get-go, know what gameplay loop you enjoy the most or are best at. Then focus your attention on gathering the vehicles needed to excel with this. That way you can start earning money and playing the game in a way that's most enjoyable for yourself. Personally, I'll probably go down the mining route and grind my way towards the trusty prospector and then further branch out into trading. Tip number 4. Always keep a little AUEC spare. When credits are tight in 3.15, always ensure you have a few credits spare. This will allow you to claim your vessels, purchase new FPS equipment upon a death, pay potential impound fees, and most importantly, you'll be able to refuel and restock your vessels, something you'll need to do a lot of if running a sub-optimum QT drive and engaging in combat missions. Finally, tip number 5. Have a set of goals. Know what vessels and gear you want, or at a minimum, set targets for yourself to achieve. This brings me onto part 2 of the video, my process. When starting from scratch with very limited options, it's important to know how you plan on progressing. So there are 3 main routes to take in Star Citizen. You can focus on combat, becoming a dominant fighter pilot, undertaking all manner of bounties. Second, we have industrial players, those who explore the verse in search of pay dirt or precious minerals, mining for their huge fortunes. Lastly, we have traders. Traders have had a bit of a rough year, however, 3.15 is bringing some much needed changes to make it a much safer and more rewarding career path. So I suggest picking one of these paths, whichever you enjoy most, and ensuring your first few million AUEC is spent on acquiring and upgrading the necessary vessels and equipment. In this example, I'll grind with my 325A, starting with illegal surveillance missions, then leading further into bounty hunting once my ship has been better equipped. After gathering some funds, I could rent a prospector or cutty and delve straight into mining. However, I'd rather buy the prospector outright so I can upgrade it further. So I'll grind 2.5 million AUEC and purchase a prospector. With this in the bag, I can start to mine Quantanium to vastly improve my UEC gains. Whilst these are refining, I can continue combat or new bunker missions to further bolster my profits. Then all I need to do is sell my refined ore, and I can rent a cutty at Cruel 1, or in this case my 400i, to transfer the ore. After a few back and forth runs, I can invest in a focused cargo ship like the Caterpillar or C2. These 3 ships will then form the backbone of my earning potential, as I can now reliably dabble in all of the major gameplay loops. I can further branch into specialised vehicles to maximise profits, such as a more capable fighter or a mole, or even save for the larger vessels available in-game. Also note that you can jump from one progression path to another relatively easily. I could buy a Freelancer Max straight away and do short cargo runs, or use it for the larger bounty hunting missions with its 4 size 3 guns, then maybe venture into mining on the side. The vehicles and routes you take can vary, so long as they achieve the goals that you've set out for yourself. It is hugely important to make the best start into reliable money making, as a tiny bit of initial grinding will allow for a much smoother experience down the line. I for one am really looking forward to putting some time and effort into grinding and building myself back up, especially with the more fleshed out gameplay loops and improved missions now in the game, though I will miss how fast money could be earned in 3.12. I hope you found some of the content within this video useful. As always, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know what you're planning on doing when 3.15 launches down in the comments below. Before you leave though, feel free to check out a few of these recommended videos, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.